Thanks, Craig.
So I just want to start off by dispelling some vicious rumors that have been spread.
Oh?
It's really harmful gossip, and I just want to get it out there right away. My landlord is not a walrus. He does have a license to use that accordion. So all you naysayers can just shut up.
I mean, if it wouldn't matter if he was a walrus, because then he might be best friends with a carpenter and you could get really good, easy fixes to, to your property.
No landlord specials here. No light switches that have been painted over.
I'm confused. Is your landlord John Lennon or something?
No, Lewis
Cuckoo,
Carroll.
cuckoo.
Yeah, because that's where my brain was going, was ye old cuckoo cachoo.
I was thinking
No.
Alice in Wonderland.
No, there's been some vicious rumors spreading throughout the YouTube comments sections and the parks forums and the everywhere. Everyone's saying it, but they're all wrong.
Duly noted.
How are we today?
Oh, yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I'm doing all right, despite the fact that I've had a migraine for the past couple days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It's meant I've had more sleep than I've probably had in the last 5 years of my life, in the last 3 days.
Damn.
Yeah. I've been I was gonna say a bed bug, but that's not right.
I don't know what you call a person who's always in bed. A bed potato.
Bed potato. Yeah, I wasn't bed rotting by choice. I mean, I guess it kind of was, but
Sleepy. Eepy, oh so sleepy.
yeah. I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think showers ever have shower thoughts? Do you reckon they're ever thinking about the way in which their inhabitants bathe or other such random occurrences that a shower might encounter in its life, such as why is there only one very awkwardly laid out light switch to my to my shower? To my
Yeah, why is my light switch in the main bedroom when I'm in a 3-bedroom apartment?
Yes.
If showers have thoughts, wouldn't every thought that the shower had be a shower thought?
Well, yeah, that's kind of my thought. That's kind of my point, dude. Do showers have thoughts?
Yes. My shower has opinions.
And what opinions are those?
It is a hardline Clive Palmer voter.
Oh, God.
Yes. He likes the ads.
Yeah.
Not the text ads, the old ones where they did that rip-off of We're Not Gonna Take It.
We're probably without consulting Twisted Sister to get the license.
Yeah, I think Twisted Sister actually said something about that, didn't they? Yeah.
That does not surprise me.
Cease and desist.
My shower also is very big Katy Perry fan.
Oh.
Not the singer, the astronaut.
What? Oh yeah,
they can have her.
Yeah, yeah, she did go to space.
So
I like the idea of sending random people to space, not just celebrities, but just being like, here is Joanne, the dental assistant. She's in space now.
I tried that one time. It didn't work out very well.
Oh,
Ooh,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
this got bleak.
Yep. Yeah. Don't know what to say now.
Look over
Anyways,
there.
Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster. When is it opening?
I'm still of the it will be whenever King Claw opens, and then Movie World will miraculously announce that 2 days before King Claw opens that Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster
Do
will
you
be
think
reopened.
they try that strategy again after the Rivertown and Wizard of Oz thing, though? Because I do think that's what their strategy was there. Was well, actually, I do think it was slightly the opposite, where they were behind schedule, and so they rushed the opening up
Yeah.
to be adjacent to Rivertown. But then I think, as a consequence of that, Rivertown was much, much better. I don't know if they'd want to do that again.
Yeah, but I feel like the one thing that we can rely on VRTP for is not really learning lessons. So
My opinion is, judging by how cryptic they're still being with those teasers, I'm leaning towards December, but I do think it would be very convenient for them if they could get it open for Fright Nights.
Totally.
Ooh,
I
that would be
don't
awesome.
think it would happen.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I do lean towards December, but part of me says if they can get it open by September, October holidays, have it for Fright Nights, that would be a big draw card for them. Like, come to Fright Nights, ride the new Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster. It's on theme, it's on brand. That'd be the ideal situation, I think.
It is encouraging, that little social media video that they posted.
It's
It doesn't give us much, but I do like that video seemed to lean into the original branding and the original.
Yeah, I really
Quote,
hope
the original spooks.
Yeah.
And also, I believe it was Mr. Yum Yum commented on it and said, wait, is the original coming back? And they loved the comment.
I like that. That's what I want them to do. I want the original. Well, not like, bit for bit, but
the soul and the spirit of the original.
I kind of want to comment on the video and say, please, no more screens, and see if they react.
The animatronics and practical effects. That's what we want back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There is just something really soulful about practical effects and animatronics.
Bro, there is, yeah.
That whole in the same room, you can reach out and touch it. It's sort of like live theater as opposed to a movie.
Yeah, can I actually throw in my hat on some controversial opinions on dark rides and like dark ride technology? Because as it's been brought up, obviously we recently went to a little known country and rode some little known rides. At Universal, we did in Super Nintendo World, the Mario Kart Cooper's Challenge. I had thoughts on that ride. Very mixed thoughts. I thought it basically, in summary, I thought that ride very much wanted to have its cake and eat it too. Because I got off like ceased the ride very much feeling that it has these impressive practical sets, but then because you've sort of got this I think it's AR, augmented reality, it takes away, and because you've literally playing a video game. It takes away from the effects and the practical effects and the animatronics and the general beauty and aesthetics of the ride. And I felt that it ended up sort of being like, I can't focus on the game because I'm focusing on the practical effects and the set and how nicely detailed it is. But then on the other hand, I can't focus on those because I'm also focusing on the game.
Yeah.
And it just
I
sort
found
of,
I was the latter.
well, I felt I was both, because it was just like, it just felt, for lack of a better term, messy.
I loved what I could see of the practical effects and scenery and theming, but I was too focused on sort of the shiny, like bright colors, moving objects of the AR stuff.
And so was I, but like I found myself sitting there being like, just bugger off, please. Like I don't
Yeah.
need to see all the bing bong explodey noise.
And to be
Bing-bong.
fair, we probably could have just taken the headset off, but
Well, you could have, but
then you're
that
also missing out on the key experience
yeah,
of the ride.
I still fundamentally think if you go if part of the solution to improve a ride is not is
Yeah.
purposely ignore part of the designed experience, I think that sort of just proves my point in saying that it feels like it felt very overwhelming but not in a good sense. Like there are rides that are, I mean, Journey to the Center of the Earth is an overwhelming ride, but it's not. It's overwhelming in all the right ways. You're only really focused on a couple of senses, and whilst not needing to be fully engaged because you're playing a game, you're
Well,
just
that's another one that's
experiencing.
like that. It's overwhelming in a good way. And sticking with Universal is Transformers at Universal Singapore. And I believe it's a clone of one at one of the American parks, but I can't, off the top of my head, think of which one. Because it's the example that I brought up in my video that I'm making and am still completing because I've been very lazy this week. Discussing Scooby-Doo and giving an example of where projections can be done right in dark rides, because it's very heavy on projections, but there's a real seamlessness between the way the projections sit with the practical effects, and you can't really tell where the projected parts of the world begin and end. So it's been much better executed, and it is just like you said about Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's like sensory overload, but in the best way. Like there's so much going on, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I think like when Kieran and I got off Journey, like our minds were blown. I think of the rides that I experienced at Disney Sea, that was easily my favorite. And yeah, but that's the thing is you look back and of dark rides that I experienced that trip, and especially on a Disney Universal scale, it's a ride from 2001 that really captured me the most. And I just don't like this reliance on.
I think there's just got to be, if you're going to use projections and those kinds of effects, it's got to be a seamlessness between the physical and the projected world.
Yeah.
The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man is another example of one that does it quite well.
Okay. Yeah, I think
I did that at Universal Japan back when I went there in like 2008, and it was incredible.
But I can't remember if that was still there, to be honest.
No, it's been gone for a while.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I believe they I don't know if they do have like some sort of licensing conflict. Marvel's going to lengths to try and pull all their properties back into one envelope now that they belong to Disney. So
Gotcha.
I know that
Incredible Hulk coaster would probably need a rebrand.
Yeah, well, I know that Islands of Adventure has the licensing to like the cartoons and comics, so they can't use the like reference the Avengers or anything like that, like the actual movies.
Also, I believe Universal have like part of the rights to characters from the Hulk.
Yes,
And that the Hulk movies were like a co-production, I believe, with Marvel.
yes. Hulk. Actually, don't know where that's at now because it's been quite a while since they've made a Hulk movie. I think maybe that might be the reason the MCU um hasn't gone back and made another Hulk movie, just because they don't want to share profits with Universal. But
And that's why, there was so much Hulk stuff in Captain America: Brave New World, because they couldn't have a standalone Hulk movie.
Similar to the deal they're doing with Spider-Man, I guess, with Sony. Who are absolutely killing it in the animation department, by the way.
Hmm.
No,
Sony are my
still have
new.
not watched
I think
K-pop.
Sony are the new kings of animation at the moment.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but no, I have not yet seen K-pop Demon Hunters because I feel like that's
Neither
where
have I.
going.
Yeah.
I feel like you were going to ask since
Maybe.
last episode.
I will
Maybe.
set it
No,
aside for this coming weekend.
no, I was actually going to reference the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
We
Is-
love Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. So, is there obviously, yes, I think K-pop Demon Hunters is what has cemented my opinion that Sony are currently the best at animated movies. But yeah, that there is still Spider-Man stuff going on that is not really under the Disney umbrella. It's under Sony's umbrella. So I'm not sure where the theme park rights to Marvel characters stands at this point. I know that Universal still has the rights to use some of them, obviously, because Islands of Adventure still does. But I feel like that might be why that ride got removed in Japan.
It was so weird. I went to Disneyland Paris back in 2019, and in the Walt Disney Studios area of the park, they had all of these like Avengers character posters up throughout the park, but they'd been altered so that they didn't have the faces of the actors playing them. They were like different other models or something, but it was still like Scarlett Johansson's hair and body, but it was just someone else's face, and it was the weirdest uncanny valley thing.
Wait, this was at Disneyland Paris?
Yeah.
I
And it
remember
was
you
just like,
telling me that.
what is going on with this? Like, did they not have the theme park rights to their likenesses? Like, I couldn't
That's
figure out what the
weird.
deal was.
Because if it's Disney, wait, was that no? Because 2019, Disney definitely owned Marvel by then. That's really bizarre. Wonder
And I
why.
don't have any photos to like for examples of it. That's the annoying thing.
It could be a likeness thing, like licensing the images of the actors, but I don't see why. Because surely an actor signs some sort of agreement that their image in any capacity for the film can be used in promotional materials. That's really weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it was just like I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, what is this weird uncanny valley like Bilo version of these characters?
Off-brand Black Widow.
It was we have Black Widow at home.
Bilo Black Widow.
Oh, Bilo.
Yeah, good old Bilo. God, that's yeah.
Franklin's.
Franklin's.
Big Fresh.
I don't remember Franklin's.
We had a Bilo, we had a Franklin's, we had a. We still have an IGA, I think.
Oh, we still have IGA.
What other obscure what
Drake's.
Drakes?
Yeah, I mean they're not really I would say like I mean they're still existent. They're still very much existent.
There was
What's the name of that
Jewel supermarkets. They had no name brand.
What about what's the name of that like it's very inner city upmarket organic almost supermarket. It seems to be exclusively in the middle of Sydney.
Wow.
Harris Farm?
Harris Farm, that's the one.
That's a Coles subsidiary, I think.
Okay.
I was going to say Mrs. Flannery's.
There was one near where I lived when I was living in North Sydney, and I used to shop there, and it was...
And it was
remarkably expensive. I think my my microphone just did a thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened there. We have returned.
Yeah, I do actually have a question on you having small town experiences.
Go on then.
Because obviously you grew up in farm life and around
Yes.
animals and stuff.
Yes.
So I want to play a little bit of a game.
Oh no.
So instead of animal husbandry, let's do some coaster husbandry and let's do some interbreeding.
Well, this is okay.
Oh, we creating like ligers.
We're gonna create some lagers. I'm just curious if you could take a model from one manufacturer and combine it with another model to create, in your mind, the ultimate model. And I'm going to specify that you can't no models from like the same manufacturer. So you can't do like an extreme spinner with a striker coaster or something.
Okay, so the goal here is just to create the ultimate coaster that I think would be the best in the world.
By combining two models.
Yeah, easy. RMC iBox track hybrid with a Mark Extreme spinner.
Oh damn.
I would say RMC iBox track hybrid, but I wouldn't say Mark Extreme spinner. I would say just regular sort of Mark loops, because RMC have done great corkscrews and stuff when it comes to inversions, but they've not been able to do any kind of loops, and that's obviously because they're working with generally they're working with retrofitting old wooden roller coasters that don't have them.
You got a dive loop on Airy Force.
Is that called a dive loop?
Pretty sure they call it a dive loop or dive loop adjacent. I'd
also like to see a better executed launch to RMC.
Oh, I think we all would. Yeah, I've actually been thinking about this question for a while, and I think I would want to see something like purely bizarre. And I think having something like a Vekoma STC with like an Intamin Megalight. So having like an airtime focused STC.
My experiences of the STC kind of are airtime focused.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't experienced one yet, so.
I've been on one of the two, obviously. I've operated one of the two. First half is very positives and inversion focused, and second half is very, very airtime focused. Airtime and strong lateral transitions.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's very what my experience of a Mega Light was. Because the positives, like that drop in the first turn is... I mean, I still don't understand how you weren't graying out, Kieran. That was... Yeah, that was turning me into, like, a piece of seaweed that was just flattening me right out.
There are a couple of times I grayed out throughout the trip, but yeah. I'd never...
What's the closest What's the closest you've been to blacking out on a coaster?
I've not been that close.
Close.
The most intense grey out, I think, was Flying Dinosaur.
Yeah, I feel like I did actually black out for a moment in the pretzel loop.
Yeah, the pretzel loop was the most intense.
But then again, you're going through a tunnel, so it's black anyway, so I don't know if that was the black of just me blacking out or the tunnel. but I don't really remember seeing a tunnel.
So I've had 3 where I actually nearly blacked out. Wrath of Zeus, coming off the top hat. Cobra at Connieland's vertical loop. Actually, like, that almost knocked me out. Like, very, very close to blacking out. And you can hear that on the POV of it, because I swear a lot and sound like I'm about to be sick. And I had one day where I was working on Fina Force, and I had been sick for a couple of days, and I was dehydrated, and I, being the idiot that I am, went on it in my lunch break, and I distinctly remember the darkness coming in from the edges of my vision as we came down the first drop, and just having to cling on to my consciousness. Like, I could that was the most literal one in terms of I saw the darkness come into my vision. I felt it, like tunnel visioning, almost blacking out. I think that, look, it is a very powerful first drop in terms of G-force, but I do think that was more to do with the fact that I had been sick and dehydrated.
Well, actually, on that point, you just reminded me of the time that I did, the only time and the only lap that I did on Project Zero was whilst I had gastro.
Oh,
and that did not go
sounds
well.
like a not great combo.
No, and I did black out on that, yes.
So where are we off to next? Where's your next coaster trip, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, I was thinking about that, because I have been running on obviously done a good portion of Japan. I definitely want to go back. There's more stuff in Japan that I'd like to do that I feel like I missed out on. Both in terms of coasters and not in terms of coasters.
Well, I have a suggestion for you, because I was actually thinking about doing a trip sometime in the future, because eventually I've got to get around to doing Japan's Coaster Odyssey episode. But I had this idea of doing a documentary of, is Togo a good manufacturer?
Yeah.
And I looked at RCDB, and of the 22 Togo coasters that still exist, 20 if you take out the 2 that are SB&O. So of the 20 that are still operating, I believe 19 are in Japan. Because the only one
that
that's
would not surprise me.
The only one operating that's not in Japan is Big Apple Coaster. There's also Fantasia Minis.
Isn't there the one
Tongdo Fantasia? Oh no, there's also Cavallino Mata. Yeah. So 18.
Yep.
18. So my thought was to do a documentary on is Togo a good manufacturer, and essentially would just go around Japan riding every Togo.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Because like my experience of Togo was, I enjoyed them. Like I said last week, like Pink Typhoon Standing Coaster is, I found that great fun as well as Hurricane. And like no, like as endearingly jank as something like Gold Coaster. And I think that both of those rides had their own little. Well, actually, to be honest, I wouldn't have really called Hurricane jank at all. It was for a 40-year-old odd coaster or whatever.
Hurricane was quite good.
Hurricane was like smooth, really, for a coaster of that age.
That's kind of why I want to do this documentary idea, is because I feel like, because of the reputation they gained in the United States, Togo is looked at as, if you want to make a list of bad manufacturers, you think of like RCCA and Togo as some of your first thoughts. But
I don't think they deserve it.
Based on what they have in Japan, I don't think they deserve it. So I think it'd be fun to do a video where I rode every Togo in Japan, to try and
Well, I'm just trying to think. So what Togos have I ridden? So I've ridden.
Um,
Trying to think of how
yes,
many Togos I've
I
ridden.
think the reputation is earned when it comes to something like Fujiyama.
Yeah, but
Because I've
there's lots of
heard,
people that like it.
yeah, El Toro Ryan
I
loves it.
love the scale of it and I love the scenery, but those transitions are cruel and unusual.
Mm-hmm.
I also,
I very
Coaster
much agree
Dash
with you.
recently went on it for the first time and said that he thought it was a car crash, but in a beautiful way, like um the
Oh,
good
it's
kind of
you
jank.
cannot beat that view and just the scale of it
Well,
all. It's
that's what I mean.
incredible.
Is I think there's the first drop on Fujiyama is actually really good.
Yeah.
The the view on the lift hill, the sense of scale on the lift hill is really good.
Mm.
Um, the turnaround after like after the drop and you go back up, like that's all like smooth and there's a good amount of positives in the bottom, in the valley of the first drop. You go back up, there's the turnaround now. Granted, you're at slow speed, but you have that amazing view. And then you do your second drop and then a camelback, and that, good. It's when you start actually doing turns at speed.
Hmm.
And that's where I say, like, I really like that first half or third half of Fujiyama.
Yep.
But then yeah, it just becomes
I'd be
like,
interested
yeah, car
to
crash.
compare it to the big one.
Yeah,
'Cause
well, that's so you were asking where go next, and that's kind of I've done Japan for
Mm.
I've done a decent chunk of Japan. Did what 40-ish
I
credits,
would,
something
yeah,
around that.
I would want to do another destination before I did a return trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Korea again done most of in terms of coasters. So for next coaster trip, I've been running on the assumption that next year I essentially finish Asia that I can access with my human rights restrictions, um, excluding China because I kind of just want to wait what happens there. So I kind of just want to like finish what I feel is accessible Asia, which is Singapore, Taiwan, Vietnam, and Thailand. Um, so I've been looking at potentially doing a 3-week coaster trip
Mm.
to all 4 of those countries. Um, doing like a week in Taiwan, doing a week in Vietnam, doing just shy of a week in Thailand, and a couple days in Singapore. More just stopover because for some reason I can't get a direct flight from Brisbane to Bangkok. So I'd have to fly through Singapore. So may as well make that a
Makes sense.
thing. So
Singapore's
that's what I've been
airport's kind of the
thinking.
hub.
But I have friends in the UK that I really want to meet up with. So the UK is also really high on my list, and my number one bucket list park is in Europe. So it's like, do I just do a Europe trip? So I don't know if I'm doing the UK and maybe do a bit of the western side of Germany because I really want to do Fantasia Land because
The UK aren't particularly known for their um, nice treatment of trans people at the moment, though.
no, I'm aware. But all of the friends that I'd be going over to see are trans, so it's hey, they've got it worse than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think controversial statement about the UK, having been to 6 of their theme parks. Do Alton Towers, do Thorpe Park, and go to Europe.
Really,
Mm.
you just cut it right there.
Yeah, look, everywhere else that I went is probably not worth traveling to from Australia. The sheer expense of going to that side of the world from Australia, you'd be better off spending your time in mainland Europe. Alton Towers is worth it. Not so much for the coasters, but for just the beauty and scale of that park and some of the dark rides and stuff. Thorpe Park is worth it because that coaster collection is excellent. and then after that I would bail and go to mainland Europe.
Why not do like Blackpool?
Blackpool's got some good rides. The park is a bit of a mess.
I'm aware, but yeah, I mean Valhalla.
Valhalla's look. I would say after Icon was surprisingly good. Valhalla was brilliant. Everything else was meh. Including, and I don't just mean like the rides, because obviously, you got the big one, which is jank as shit, and I will not take anyone else's opinion on that. It's rubbish. You've got like SLCs and arrow launched loops and mark bobsleds and all sorts of acres and acres of garbage, basically. But the way the park is, like, the operations are not good. The park doesn't have a nice vibe about it at the moment. It didn't feel very. I expected like that nice historic vibe that you get from like a Luna Park Melbourne or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was not. It just didn't. Blackpool in general feels dirty. I don't like Blackpool. Sorry if you live there. But it was not. I didn't enjoy my time in Blackpool very much.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. But then again, I've also heard good things about Polton's. So
Polton's is probably the one that's left over that I haven't been to that I would like to see what's going on there. The other one that I would say I had a good day at is Chessington, although I don't know if I would travel particularly far for it. It would be more if I'm in London and I've got time.
Well, my thing is I would have the way that I'd be looking at doing it is because I would be, because of my friends' lives and schedules, I would want to fly out at the end of a work week. So I'd want to fly out on like a Saturday or a Friday, like Friday night or a Saturday. So by the time I'm like awake and alive and gotten over jet lag, I probably won't be like until Monday night. Let's say end of Monday that I'm alive, and because my friends have lives to themselves, they're probably not free till the weekend after. So I've got a week in the UK to kill. So yeah, okay. Towers.
Hours in
Probably
Thorpe Park are the must-dos.
and a sightseeing day. So call that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not necessarily in that order, but then there's probably still a Thursday, Friday. And because of Chessington's relatively ease of location, it would be probably my my pick, like one of my other picks to do. I understand Drayton Manor not being all that appealing, other than the question mark over Gold Rush, because
Gold Rush
Gold
looks
Rush
interesting.
looks like a really good. Well, not really good, but it looks like a promising little ride. Excuse me, sorry.
Drayton Manor, look, it's okay, but it's not worth traveling particularly far for. Now that you've got Gold Rush, you've got like a Jungle Rush quality family coaster, maybe slightly better. I don't know. And then what, like pretty bang average Intamin looping coaster, which is slightly interesting for its history. Clone of the Claw.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of like family rides and stuff. Although their walkthrough dark ride thing is quite haunting. That's what it's called. It's quite good.
But this is the flip side. Or I go to Asia and do stuff like I mean Thailand. Thailand really, in the whole scheme of things, doesn't actually have much in the coaster game.
But the reason I would go to Thailand is not for like good coasters. It's for the bizarreness of, first of all, Dreamworld having.
Well, that's exactly why. It's the history behind a lot of the
history behind Dreamworld, but then also Pattaya Park. Surely you're going to Pattaya Park.
Well, yeah, Pattaya Park. So I would want to do Pattaya, Siam, amazing. Is it? Yeah, Siam, amazing.
I'm Amazing Parks just there because It's
Well,
conveniently located in Bangkok.
no. Because
Mm.
they actually interest me myself. And I'll
Mm.
get onto that. Because Dreamworld, yeah, you got the one of only 3 Vekoma
Swinging turns.
swinging turns, which would be interesting to experience. Plus, it used to
Was
be
in
in my
Australia.
home city, as well as the MK700 was also part of the Expo 88 park. So those interest me for old Australian credits. But my dad in the late 90s did some work in Brunei.
Oh,
And
yes.
both the 2 coasters at Siam Amazing Park, the Boomerang and their SLC, which is a custom layout SLC, were
Is it? No, it's
originally
not.
they were originally no, they are.
No, it's just a variation. It's not custom.
Not yeah, it's a variation. It's
Yeah.
not custom, but it's not your standard layout.
It's the 787 meter extended. It's
Is it?
it's the only other one left in operation now, but there was another.
Okay. What was the other?
A suspended looping coaster at Suju Amusement, which is
Oh, okay.
it was another one of the like layout variations that they offered, but not one of the more popular ones.
No, but so it's a unique SLC, so I feel there's a bit of something there. Plus, they were both used to be in Brunei, which were actual gifts from Vekoma to the Sultan of Brunei. As
Yes, yeah.
I mean, is that good? Is it bad? We don't know. Whatever. I'm not gonna make it all political, but yeah. The thing is when my dad had been doing work, he actually rode these coasters, and are some of my dad's only credits, and I think it's interesting. So to get relocated credits that my dad has ridden that would have been quite rare credits, I guess interest me, but also kind of also just there in Bangkok. And yeah, slalom is such a oddity that I think it doesn't really matter where it is in the world. It's like probably worth traveling for because of just how absurd it is. Yeah, and I think that's the history, and it's like, well, it's in such proximity to places like Vietnam, and you can easily fly from Bangkok to Phu Quoc and experience like Wrath of Zeus and Roaring Timbers and stuff. So yeah, I just don't see it as not being worth doing if I'm in that area. But yeah, so I don't know. That's my answer for what I'm potentially looking at doing as a next trip. It's just a matter of working out which one I want to do most. What about you, Kieran?
Where are you going? Season 3.
I think UK and Europe would be my next choice. But that just depends on, saving up as much leave as I can and as much money as I can. I'm still paying off Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely not until late next year, I don't think.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. My next trip's probably not. It's at least 12 months away, especially if I'm doing something the length and expense of Japan, which I think's probably it felt probably the right period of time and expense to do that sort of trip in. At least personally. But yeah, there's lots of like I don't know, but I also just like kind of experiencing the weird and the wacky. So that's why I'm not against going to like smaller parks in the UK. And to be honest, I did say 3 days. I probably would want to do 2 days at Towers because of just its vast size.
I would recommend 2 days at Towers.
I feel like
also because it seems like quite a schlep to get to Towers too.
Yeah,
it is a schlep to get to Towers.
Is it just me? Like you can probably get away with doing 1 day at Thorpe?
Even that was a stretch.
Okay.
I didn't
Did you get every credit?
No.
No, okay.
I didn't get the Walking Dead or Flying Fish, which were the 2 that I was okay with missing, but as someone who is a credit completionist and likes to collect my credits, that was still a little bit of a disappointment. I got there just after opening, and it took that long to get into the park that I don't think I got on Hyperia. Well, I don't think I got in line Hyperia until an hour after the park had opened, just because of how long the line to get through security was. And then Hyperia's line was another hour. But yeah, I got one ride on Hyperia, then Stealth, then Nemesis Inferno, then Swarm. And then by the time I ran down and got on Colossus and saw the ride, that was closing time.
But they do fast pass.
They do, yes.
Yeah.
Whereas at Nagashima, because we had so much to get through, we just threw money at the situation when it was like ludicrous lines.
I did that at Alton Towers. Which is why I would say Alton Towers is an even bigger one where you probably need 2 days, because I threw money at Alton Towers. Like, I need fast passes to get through this. And I still only just squeezed Spinball Whizzer into the end of the day.
And you didn't have Nemesis, did you? Because Nemesis was
down. And I didn't have Nemesis because Nemesis was down. And the only non-coaster rides that I got on were Nemesis Subterra and Haunting at Alton Manor.
Yeah, I wish we'd spent 2 days at Nagashima just so that we could have experienced some of their flat rides too, because we just did coasters.
What? You wanted to experience one of their 4 swinging ships? Yeah, to be honest,
like their drop towers and stuff like that, and
Well, yeah, the like, I mean, I wanted to do the first gen Intamin drop tower, but that was down anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we just ran into lots of downed drop towers.
Yeah, Gyeongju's was down as well.
Gyeongju's was down. We've already mentioned last week Soul Lands was down. Yeah, I feel like, was there others?
Lotte World.
Lotte
Well,
World?
it's not really a drop tower, it's like a gyro.
Oh, it's a gyro drop.
It's a gyro drop. It's a drop tower.
Yeah. It's a drop tower.
Don't they also have another drop tower at Lotte World?
That's what I was thinking. Can't remember.
They have
I
2.
don't remember one. Is it also outside?
Yeah. There's 2 on the island. There's a gyro drop, and then there's like a. I seem to remember it being an SNS.
Wow. Is it?
Well, there was not much happening on the island when we went because it was pouring rain.
And the other thing is it potentially in the area where they're building that Zamperla? Because maybe it was torn down when we went there. Because
I'm going on their website right now.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing 2 towers.
Yeah.
I just seem to have this image in my head of there being 2, but I might be thinking of somewhere else.
They had a pendulum swing ride there.
Yeah. The big Intamin gyro. Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember a lot of flat rides being down. Can officially say that I've ridden a flat ride themed to tomatoes.
It was so cute.
It was cute. Oh my god! Was it the freaking lone, really sad-looking teddy bear at Himeji just sitting in a teacup?
Oh, yeah, bear content.
Oh god, Himeji was a park.
Underrated park, and I think it was just like it felt because like we were one of maybe 5 groups there.
Well, what? We had lunch at like 1 o'clock, and your food ticket was ticket number 7, and we were there on rope drop. Well, we were there before rope drop even, and it's like that was nuts. Yeah. Actually,
it was like it felt like we were in an abandoned amusement park that was just open for us. Like it was wild.
It was pretty wild, I do have to say. I'm looking at I'm actually going through quickly and doing a very quick count up of the Togos that I have done and which Togos I would need for Togo completion, at least within Japan.
I just had
which is the hot Togo.
Pardon? Yeah. Oh, and I just removed one. What was the one that I accidentally removed?
So, of the Togos that currently exist, the ones that I imagine you haven't been on. So, first of all, you missed Yomiuri Land, right?
Yeah.
So, Bandit. Crazy Mouse at Katami Family Land, which is the only remaining looping wild mouse. There is Cycle Coaster at Enakio Wonderland.
Yeah, no, did not do that because I would have to ride that thing to even see if I would count that thing as a credit.
There is Go-Go Sneaker at Rusutsu Resort.
No, did not do that. Obviously, I have not been to Rusutsu.
Oh, I found another one that's not in Japan. Grand Canyon at Parc de la Vallée is in France.
France,
you've been to Himeji. You've been to Himeji.
Yeah, so
that one's SBNO. The other one at Enakio Wonderland, Jungle Coaster. You didn't go to Hamanako Pal Pal, did you?
No.
I wanted to, but I didn't get the time. I really wanted to do Hamanako.
That's another big one then, is Mega Coaster.
Mega Coaster, yeah, because I do Mega Coaster.
Milky Way at Greenland. Roller coaster at Hanayashiki, which is interesting because it's the oldest coaster in Japan.
Yes, and the oldest Togo.
Yes.
It was Togo's first coaster.
Standing coaster at Rusutsu Resort. The Ultra Twister at Rusutsu Resort. And that would be it in terms of what you haven't ridden. Oh,
yeah,
also, did you get on the Ultra Twister at Nagashima?
No,
it was shut.
That's will that ever really be? I don't know if that has much life left in it.
Yeah, look, I don't think it will, but you know,
well, to be honest, I don't think
it's still technically listed as operating on RCDB, so we hold out hope.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. But I feel like I've got a decent picture because I've done Flounders, which as we discussed last week, that was an experience. But like from what I remember, like it just was sort of very of what it is. It feels like a roller skater, really. It didn't really feel any different to a roller skater other than maybe a little bit tamer. But I wouldn't say it rode worse than your typical roller skater. And then I'm so glad I got an Ultra Twister. That just makes me happy because I was scared that I wasn't getting one. Fuji, yeah. So I've done Fuji. I've probably done about half of the ones in Japan. I'd think maybe a little bit less. But even done some of the lesser, like talked about ones, and I still think that they've got some like kudo, like some what's the word? Not cred, but like they definitely had a reason to exist. Like they definitely were not.
Yeah.
They're not crap. Like they're not absolute burn this thing and send it to hell like some other coasters that we won't mention. And that's the thing. If we're going to talk about like when you compare something like a Togo to another Japanese coaster like coaster manufacturer like who actually made Black Hole?
Senyu Kogyo.
2000. Because I know it was Senyo Kogyo. Yeah, and Senyo Kogyo also made is it Diving Coaster Vanish, which I know I didn't experience, but I know you weren't all that favorable of, Kieran.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, I don't know.
And
I
they
think,
also made the fucking family banana coaster, which I hated.
I haven't had the
actually, I
best
think they also
experiences of
made,
Senyo Kogyo either.
and did they also make, no, who made freaking Iron Ball? Oh, that a, yeah, it's Sensei. Okay, I thought it was Sensei. Yeah. Good old Iron Bull. But I would have not been surprised if that was a Senyo Kogyo. What other Senyo Kogyos have you experienced?
So, other than Black Hole 2000 and Crazy Mouse, I have experienced Snoopy's Great Race at Universal Studios Japan, which has long since been removed. And it was similar to what you said about Flounders. It just rode like a roller skater, really. But the fact that that's my
Yeah,
best, the coaster of theirs that I have the best opinion of out of the three.
Yeah, it doesn't speak volumes, does it? Well, it does
No.
speak volumes, but it doesn't speak highly of them.
No.
Yeah, I want I do think one of the things I did come out of that trip with was the opinion that I feel like Togo got way too much hate and way too much flack. Now, obviously, not ridden any of the stuff they've gotten in America. I mean, saying that there's only one still standing, but and nor have I ridden Togo stand up, which
of
I know
which
is
there's
probably
also only
2 remaining, I think.
freestyle and standing coaster at
Well, and as much as I didn't see a train for Pink Typhoon, they may still run a train for Pink Typhoon.
They do still call it Pink Typhoon Standing Coaster.
Yeah, and I did see footage of it like a month or 2 after. I think it was June with a standing train. But like I saw no signs of a standing train when I went. So I think they do still operate it as a standing coaster. And actually is Milky Way. Do they is
Oh yeah,
I think
Milky Way, yes, of course. So there's
Milky
4 of them.
Way's yeah, there's 4.
Theoretically 4 of them.
Actually, maybe
Should
5.
I give hints about where I'm going next? Because I've officially announced what my trip is next, but it's part of the.
I feel like you announced the exact park you were going to.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure last week you did reveal the park that you rolled. If that's what you're talking about.
Oh dear.
I don't know if that was on the pod or if it was after.
I hope it wasn't on the pod.
Pretty sure
Dun,
it was.
dun. Maybe everybody knows by now. Who knows?
But either way, if you want to reveal it, go ahead.
I'm not going to reveal it. I was under the impression that I did not reveal it on the pod.
Yeah, I thought it was after that you told us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
okay. I'm not sure.
I can probably give you some. So obviously, the place that I have rolled, I'm going to make a trip out of it. It's going to be my first time going overseas for a little while, so I want to do more than just go and ride one randomly selected roller coaster and bugger off again. So I will be going to 8 parks, actually potentially more. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 8 parks. Let's give the mystery hint of the week. Among those 8 parks, there will be some of the major coasters will be from the Gravity Group. Intamin. There's a couple B&Ms in there. And there's also a very rare coaster type that I'm a little excited about. That's all I'll reveal.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
That's kind of one of the things. You have revealed what country though, haven't you?
Nope.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure you did in last episode.
Well, if people listened, then cool.
Because I'm pretty sure you said I'm spending a week in Bleep City.
Could have happened.
But
I don't know. I don't know 90% of the stuff I say on this podcast. It's half the fun.
yeah, no, that's fair.
Genuinely, I do not remember saying it,
Well,
but you
fun.
could be right. I could have. I'm just not saying it now in case you're wrong. Because if you are wrong, then I will
You'll rub it in my face.
then well no more that I don't want to accidentally reveal it now because I was under the impression that I already had.
No, that's fair. That's all good.
It will be a fun trip.
It will be. I'm sure it will be, and I'm actually very excited to hear your
Hmm.
your experience, because it would definitely make me yeah, I think hearing your review would definitely influence my my own
A
feelings
decision
and
whether or
whether
not to
or
go
not
to this place.
yeah. So
Hmm.
yeah. I think that's also one of the other reasons I want to do like Vietnam next year, is I feel like there is the potential just to get some more
Exposure
wackier
to
credits.
traveling, yeah.
Well, yeah, more exposure to traveling, but also just some like credits that are here is a nondescript Chinese roller coaster made by who knows who. Because I know.
I
Pardon?
wanted to do one of those parks in Ho Chi Minh that has
Dam Sen Park.
Dam Sen Park, that's the one.
That's where I'm looking at going if I
I
to.
genuinely was going to go there, but I have told the story multiple times that trip was with my then girlfriend, and it was not a coaster trip. It was our romantic little getaway. My birthday happened to fall on that trip, and that's the only reason that I convinced her to go to Fukuoka at all.
You
Was because it was like,
heteronormative relationships.
oh no, because she was like, I don't just want to do roller coasters. I want to do like, we did a Mekong River cruise and went to the tunnels that were from the Vietnam War, and we did like food and sightseeing and all these great experiences. It was a lovely trip, and I had a fantastic time. But yeah, because my birthday fell on the trip, I was like, okay, it is my birthday. Can we please, please, please get flights to this island that has roller coasters on it?
Mm.
And glad I did, because they're still some of my favorites that I've been on.
Well,
In
yeah.
Wonders is a weird place.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I want to with the.
It has that Asian Park vibe of, it seems like they've spent a whole lot of money building this park. But for what? Because there's no
To what
crowds
end?
here. Yeah, exactly. There's no crowds here. And I couldn't put my finger on it for the longest time of like why I had such a weird feeling, like it felt otherworldly at Vin Wonders. I didn't understand, like it felt so weird. And that's what it was. There was not very many people there, and it's this huge Disneyland level park with like all this immaculate theming. And we walked on to the SFC twice in a row. They let us go twice in a row because there's nobody in line.
Yeah, that's. I mean, not that Himeji is a beautiful part. I mean, it's in a beautiful location. But I felt kind of the same walking, like having a walk. Like we got to Diablo and the operator is literally sitting like in a chair on his phone, sitting there like he sat there for like half an hour waiting for someone.
Mm.
And I mean, I Zenroed, well, we both Zenroed a Batman clone, and I don't feel like that's a thing that you expect to say.
I've Zen ridden a couple of B&Ms, but that was Jefferson Fancy World, and I am not shocked to see that that park is not getting a huge amount of attendance.
Well, yeah.
They're kind of in the middle of nowhere in buttfuck nowhere, Taiwan, and they have not invested in any new rides in like 2 decades, and the place looks like it's falling to pieces.
Admittedly, Himeji's the same, except Himeji clearly has some level of money, because when you go up to their safari park, that you can see that that's where they are getting
the
money.
safari park seems to be what brings the money in.
Yeah.
Because that's the most maintained.
And they may not have brought in any new rides per se, but they still had enough bank to like drag in Venus GP and give Venus GP a new home. Now, obviously, I don't know how much that cost, but hey, they still added a
I can't see
biggest coaster in their park.
Actually, I would say this about any of the parks in Taiwan. I can't see them. I would sooner see them shutting down than adding anything new of significance.
Which is sad.
And sadly, that applies to all of them across the board, even Discovery World. So if you're out there and you're listening and you really, really want to try Gravity Max, the OG tilt coaster, get there, because I don't.
I had a question about that, actually, because you have ridden Gravity Max. I had a question about Gravity Max.
Yes.
Now, Gravity Max obviously has unique trains. Like, they don't use standard like MK1200 trains, despite they're using MK1200 track. What is the reasoning behind the different trains?
I don't know, but I feel like they're quite similar to one of the trains that I have ridden before, which is they remind me of. I'm not sure if they're exactly the same as, and I'm now going to look it up on RCDB to find out, hopefully. They remind me of the new trains that have been put on Rolling X Train at Everland.
Ooh, well, that's something I've also done.
Yeah.
Because you know how it has those big... RCDB doesn't have any photos of the new... Oh, yes, it does. Okay, it's not quite the same. Yeah, no, actually, it's not really the same at all. It's only the same in...
And I'll be honest, didn't get a great look at the train, because friggin' Rolling X Train station is the most cramped station in the entire world.
It is. It's very cramped.
That thing is tiny.
Yeah, okay. They're not as similar as I seem to remember them being. I think I have a similar situation to you, where I only got a very brief look at Rolling X trains. But the way that they are similar is those really bulky over-the-shoulder restraints. Like really big.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. They are kind of similar, but yeah, I've just searched up Rolling X Train, and for some weird reason, it's giving me rolling stock for Melbourne.
Actually, answering your question, I don't know. I wonder if it is something to do with the fact that Vekoma expected the tilt coaster to be like a different model of its own, or if it needs certain modifications to be able to run on the tilt track. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was just recently looking at it was thanks to a person in the Planet Coaster 2 modding community who is a legend, goes by the name .net, and is at the forefront of modding in Planet Coaster 2, and is currently working on doing a full revitalized custom version of the MK1101 trains, because the ones that we got were interesting. The ones that actually came from the developers, like when it first released, the Zero card.
Gravity Max has never had any changes of trains.
No, but in this, he sort of went through all the Vekoma trains, and it made me realize, oh yeah, why does the Tilt Coaster have such a unique, like, one of one train?
You know what? I
Or
actually
when I say
think
that
that
Tilt Coaster,
I wish that more of the Vekoma loopers had trains like Gravity Max, because I will say they were very comfortable.
because yeah, like, if you think about it, like, the current Tilt Coaster, they're an MK1 1101. Their trains, at least on the face of things, don't seem any different to your regular sit down Vekoma trains.
The
So
mysteries
yeah,
of
no, I was just,
Vekoma.
yeah, no, I just had that thought a few days ago. It was like, why do this? I would like to know. If someone from Vekoma knows and would like to get in contact, please reach out to us, because I'm curious now.
I've had a very lively conversation with a Vekoma engineer a few times.
I'm guessing
Lovely
that
guy.
was Fiona. Or
Yeah, we had a
old Tiana Nog.
we had a couple of teething issues with it, and they brought in Vekoma engineers, and I was on lap bars on a day where they were in just watching it, like observing it, and trying to like troubleshoot whatever little issues were going on. And yeah, had a chat to him. He was a lovely guy. Shout out to, don't remember his name.
Yeah, oh god, I think that's also, well, I don't know, because I could also just do it in Europe, but that's probably my number one bucket list model, is just sort of any new gen Vekoma product, because they really intrigue me and look like probably
Far.
the
I've been
most
nothing but impressed by
up.
them.
Well, yeah, they look like the next real up and coming.
Even
Like, I
down
think
to
Mark has been on
like
roll at the
TNT
moment, and
and Flight of the Wicked Witch. Like
oh, they're good trains, yeah.
that's the best suspended family
The
coaster on the
rides.
market by far. So good.
I'm kind of sad that we missed out on Lipto Livan Rocket Luna to get Gerstlauer's suspended family coaster. Because I've heard that those things are, well, that specific coaster is a bit wacky and interesting, but like wacky in a good way. In a Gerstlauer way, I should say.
Kieran,
Yeah, I am very
what's
disappointed.
your highest bucket list poster model?
Well, I've gotten to do Hakuge, which was an RMC high box hybrid. But like my bucket list coaster is number one is Iron Gwazi.
Okay.
So to a point, I feel like I've experienced a model of those, but up there is Ride to Happiness.
I'm very interested that people seem to have migrated to preferring Gwazi over Steel Vengeance.
There's something about Vengeance's layout that just doesn't appeal as much to me.
Okay.
I'm actually in the same camp as Kieran. I don't know if I've never, looking at the layout of Steve has never really, I've never really looked at Steve and been, that is the peak RMC. To be honest, the RMC that was the most, when I looked at a layout and I went, damn daddy-o, that looks peak RMC to me, was actually always Hakuke.
Actually, you know what? You know the one that I look at and I think that's one that I have to experience before I die, regardless of anything else. Is Airy Force One. That
Yeah, that too.
ending. That ending looks stupid. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I want to experience Airy Force. Airy Force looks pretty whack.
Kieran, you said Ride to Happiness. Was there anything else?
Velocicoaster, Fury, Pantherian, Voyage, El Toro.
But of like a specific model? Because like you've done an Intamin prefab, you've done an
Well,
RMC
yeah, I guess the specific model is Mark Extreme Spinner.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's got to be up there as well.
Yeah, Extreme
I'd
Spinner's
actually
up
say
there for me too,
probably I'm more keen to try a Mark Extreme Spinner than even an RMC. Being
Yeah.
someone who still hasn't had my first RMC.
Yeah, I think in
actually-
terms of the best RMC thing is, I think in terms of Quasi and Steve, I think I've never
Because still to
personally
this day,
made
the Captain Coaster consensus, and I'm just fact checking myself because I haven't been on this site in a while. Yeah, it is still the consensus that Steve is the better, and actually Zadra is second.
Oh, what's third?
Quasi.
Yeah. Where does Hakuge sit?
Seventh.
Really?
Your top 10. Your current top 10 on Captain Coaster is Steve, Zadra, Gwazi, Velocicoaster, Ejanika, Ride to Happiness, Hakuge, Tiger, Air Force One, and Fury.
Okay, but in terms of RMCs, it's...
Oh, in terms of RMCs, it is fourth.
Yeah, okay.
Stardust Races has made itself known on Captain Coaster.
What
do you mean made itself known?
So, both sides are in the top 20.
Oh, damn.
The green side, called Pulsar, is at number 16, and the yellow side, known as Photon, is number 19.
There you go. I didn't even know they had separate names.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know their actual names either. I would have just called them the green side and the yellow side.
So
I knew they had names, but I could not remember what they were called. But
I'm just looking through now.
Yeah, I think
I'm just looking through this now because I haven't been on the Captain Coaster rankings in a while, and there's some additions. Beyond the Cloud at Suzu Amusement Land Forest World is number 30.
Whoa.
That thing apparently is very good. I hadn't thought of it as being like it looks good.
It's interesting that it's that high, considering it's probably also lesser ridden, if you know. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least
I mean, a lot of Chinese coasters
maybe not.
Like have to. They don't really get the ratings to get onto the rankings. So yeah, it is very interesting.
Because it's probably a lot of Western influences on that website.
And to be fair, yeah, it is Western influence, but also to be fair, China's censorship of the internet means that there's probably exactly 0 Chinese users on Captain Coaster.
Probably that too.
Unless they're expats living somewhere else. Siren's Curse has made its debut at number 90, which sounds low, but to be for reference, that's between King Dakar and Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland. So that's not too bad.
I'm glad that Cedar Point seemed to be getting back in business as far as Top Thrill 2 and having Siren's Curse opening and just yeah. The whole Top Thrill 2 thing was a bit of a debacle.
Yeah.
Great.
I think Zamperla, and I think we all knew it at the time, but we wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I think Zamperla was a mistake to go with them.
I think they bit off more than they could chew.
Yeah. I love Zamperla for a lot of reasons. But yeah, that was a bit much. They're still very much finding their feet in the thrill coaster game, and there's a very big difference between building a thrill coaster and building one of the tallest and fastest roller coasters in the world.
Well, pretty much the tallest and fastest.
Well, yeah, now the
Well, I
tallest
think
and fastest
I'll
roller
tell you
coaster
who's
in the
tallest
world.
and fastest because
Yeah,
till Falcons.
at the time one
Yeah.
of, but now the yes.
Yeah.
Because Falcon's Flight hasn't opened yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, King Dakar. Rest in peace.
Yeah, well, at the time one of, because King Dakar was still standing at the time, and now the until such time as Falcon's Flight officially opens. Yeah.
Yeah, we yeah, I think it's now Great Adventure's turn to sort of have to rebuild and.
Well, they've delayed that coaster to 2027 now.
Have they?
Yeah,
God.
that King Dakar's replacement has been delayed to 2027.
I wonder if they even know what it will be yet.
They've just got to do a lot of housekeeping and stuff. Like they've still got to shut down Six Flags America.
Yeah. I feel like they're still in the process of restructuring the whole Six Flags
They are.
corporation, and it feels like just anything really, really big that's going to drain a lot of their resources. It's probably just a bit too much for them to be doing right now. The longer it goes on, the more I'm worried that King Dakar's replacement is this Mark Extreme Spinner concept.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of that, to be honest.
I don't like it at all. I hate it.
Is this the weird tower thing?
Yeah. That they proposed in that survey for Kings Island.
Yeah, that just looks weird and gimmicky.
I don't. I'm sure it'll be, because it's tall as hell. I'm sure it'll be fast and forceful, but like, it really feels like something that would have come out if the Coaster Wars was going on right now. It feels like something that would have been done purely for the purpose of breaking a record. Not because anyone thought it was actually going to be a really good coaster. I would much rather they built something like an Intamin Blitz, a Mark launch coaster that was like lengthy and good.
Yeah,
Get an answer to Velocicoaster or something like that. You know, do something based on quality, not just whether or not it holds a world record.
Yeah, and I think world records have kind of started to lose their meaning because of how, like, literally, I remember watching a couple weeks ago when, I say a couple weeks, probably a couple months ago now, when Steel Curtain reopened. I don't know if this is necessarily just world records losing meaning or just Americans being incredibly insular. But they were like, it was some news channel American report of Steel Curtain reopening and being like, it's gonna reclaim 9 world records, and then it's like tallest and fastest coaster in Pennsylvania, and it's like, that's not a world record.
That's a Pennsylvania record.
Yeah. Like, it's like, I don't frankly care. Like, if it's and I think the other thing is like tallest inversion.
I mean, we've seen, I mean that one has some, value to it. Like, oh wow, going upside down at like the highest point that you can do it anywhere in the world. That's kind of, there's some coolness to that. Like, I will admit that when I went on the Smiler, I was like, damn, coaster that goes upside down 14 times. This is gonna be sick. But
too much of a good thing.
Yeah, you see it here in Australia as well. Like, I hate to keep. Here comes our traditional shit talking of VRTP for the episode. But when they opened Flash Speed Force and they were like, "Oh, the first ride within a ride," it's like, what?
I'm sorry, that's just like, who cares?
What does that mean? Who gives a shit?
It's funny because you have Luna Park Melbourne exist.
I mean, I was working at Luna Park Sydney, and one of the rides that I knew was the Freaky Frogs, which literally exists within a single helix of the Boomerang.
Yeah.
Like it's what are you talking about? But they do that as well. Like Leviathan, they had that campaign where they said it was the most iconic wooden coaster in Australia.
That
And
is such puffery. That means nothing.
it does exactly. And it feels like they think that they have to be able to say that it's the most something or the best something or the biggest
Well,
something.
that's the thing. Like, puffery is actually a legal term where they can make something sound incredible without actually making any particular claim.
Yeah. And which is interesting that the Flash Speed Force one appears to be a specific claim.
Yeah,
Appears
because
to be an actual objective claim that there has never been a ride enclosed within the layout of another ride.
and even if they wanted to argue that they meant like coaster inside a coaster, you can literally again point to Luna Park Melbourne because
Yeah, Speedy Beetle inside Scenic Railway, yeah.
yeah, and it's like, well, okay, it just felt very.
Yeah,
I remember how much they got blasted for that in a way. It was kind
they are
of funny.
very much it's a marketing thing. And look, I see I see I'm a person who's very stats minded when it comes to my coasters. Like I have a spreadsheet objectively recording my stats and my top 10 tallest and my top 10 fastest credits and whatever. So I think that, I will get excited when I go on something and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the fastest roller coaster in the world or whatever.
Oh,
But beyond those big records, like how I felt when I went on the Smiler, where I was excited, where I was like, this is the coaster with the most inversions. Beyond that, if you're going to say something like this is the coaster with the longest 0G stall, I'll be like, okay, yeah, cool. I guess that'll be fun. But tell me why it's good, not what obscure record it holds.
yeah. And I think, I don't know, like I know it was once a record holder, but I feel like maybe my point's null and void because it was once a record holder, but like Steel Dragon 2000, I didn't really care if it held the record or whatever because it was just big. And I feel like that's...
You know what's really interesting is that people count Alpine coasters as credits, but they don't count them for world records.
Yeah, I think it's just because they're
Were to
such
count Alpine coasters, then actually the longest coaster in the world is Toblerone.
in Hungary, isn't it?
Andorra.
And no, it's in Andorra. That's right, actually.
Yeah, 5,300 meters. I think it'll be longer than Falcon's Flight. So technically, Falcon's Flight is not going to be the longest coaster in the world.
Yeah, I find it interesting. I mean, I haven't done an Alpine coaster yet, so...
Me neither. I'm still waiting after my Threadbow disappointment. My first was
Don't worry. As soon as you get on the ride, it'll probably be a disappointment.
My first is now likely to be the Big Bananas one because the Big Bananas 2.5 hours down the road from me. So when it opens, I'm likely just to go down there for a weekend.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat with that one, and unless I do end up going to Vietnam, and I end up doing Vietnam before Plantation Coaster opens.
I want to go to Sunworld Barnard Hills.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. But then again, actually, what's happening with this apparent Big Dipper?
That's been around for years. That project has been around for years. But what makes it really weird to me is that, I've seen rumors and supposed projects come up on RCDB and just never eventuate before. That's happened. This one, they've got construction photos. And there's also another, they're supposed to be building a Zero family coaster there as well.
Yeah.
And they've got construction photos taken all the way back in March 2024 of this supposed Big Dipper going to Sunworld Barnard Hills. Here we are August 2025. No other news. Nothing has happened. What is going on? Don't know.
Because I'd like to know, because if I'm going to get a Big Dipper, that will help me determine. I know it's supposed to be family oriented.
Yeah, it's
I'm not going to
labeled
hold
as
my breath.
family oriented. It's weird. Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath for
Yeah,
that.
apparently
I don't.
no inversion. Yeah,
I don't. I don't know what's going on with that. But Sunwell Barna Hill
You
still
know
just
what I
looks
can't
bizarre.
believe?
Yes, what can't you believe?
You know what I can't believe hasn't been done yet in Australia?
What?
Why isn't there a bunyip coaster?
That's a good question. Or a Yowie coaster?
Because so many coasters seem to be like, you know, themed to ferocious animals, and you know, like a bunyip or a yowie. Like, why not?
Bunyip in
Just an old back.
the Big Banana monorail, which is not a monorail because it has 2 rails, but they called it the monorail anyway. Because why not?
They were talking about how like they were trying to, was it like underwater or something?
Yeah, so the so-called monorail used to go past this lake, and the lake is still there. And this animatronic bunyip would rise up out of the water as you went past. That is one of my great curiosities that I'm not sure if I'll ever know the answer to. Maybe I have to do a Dane's theme park life and call the Big Banana CEO and demand answers. I just want to know, is the bunyip still there?
I believe they mentioned that in that podcast episode.
I may have just exposed myself as not having listened to the full thing.
Okay.
They may have actually, to be honest. Can't believe
I think they do.
yeah, it rings a bell.
Is it still there?
I believe so.
Just rotting at the bottom of this lake.
Just you bringing up animatronic bunyips just makes me think back.
Oh,
to,
flashback to Murray Bridge. Sad times. Didn't get to see it.
well, we got the weird
AR version.
AR.
That bizarre app version. Yeah.
Speaking of submechanophobia, when I went to Toei Movie Studio Park in Kyoto, there was this weird like monster that came out of like a pond or a lake, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm seeing if I can find the footage in my phone. It was weird. I was taking footage of this. Yeah, it's like this weird sort of dinosaur that appeared out of this pond, and I was like, "Oh, wow, that's going to get someone's submechanophobia going."
Wait, submechanophobia is a thing?
Like human-made structures and or machines underwater.
Okay.
It's actually it's kind of like, it's a very specific phobia, but it's a very common one. Apparently that triggers something in a lot of people.
Yeah, I could see how. Does that go for like stuff like shipwrecks?
Yeah, shipwrecks are certainly a
footage.
submechanophobia thing. But it has become associated with theme parks largely because of, like, you know, your Jaws the rides and that sort of thing that feature
Yeah, of course.
animatronics that are underwater.
Oh, excuse me.
That came across as a very weird sound for me. It was like an eh.
I apologize. It was a sneeze. But I could not hold back.
Well, I'm keen to go to the Big Banana. I haven't been there in a while. I can't wait for their new coaster
I've
to
never
open.
actually been.
It's
Yeah, it'll probably be my next trip.
ooh, Google Earth bringing me the goods. You know how you can
What banner?
zoom time in Google Earth? Well, if you
Yeah.
go onto Google Earth on the Big Banana at the moment and zoom to the most recent images as of July 2025, we have some footers.
Oh, lovely.
Definite progress being made. A lot of earthwork by the looks of things. So, looks like things are progressing nicely for our new Alpine coaster.
Yeah, I'm actually. What's your thoughts on traveling coasters?
What about
Like,
them?
are they just like credits worth getting? Should I go out of my way to get traveling credits? Not out of my way, like I said, the Ekka. I just don't know if I go to the Ekka this year and just.
I mean, they
Which
count as
coasters are
credits,
there?
but I just didn't count them for my Australian thing because it was just
Oh
like
no, of course
They're too hard to
trying to
trace
track
down.
down
Yeah.
where a show meant. Yeah.
they are. I agree, but more just for. I mean, I don't have any uh, as much of a completionist goal
I think there's
as
3
you
coasters that are
have.
operating at the Ekka this year.
Yeah, I've already previously done one of them, so yeah, I don't know. It is an thought that has graced my mindest that I'm not sure if I want to indulge or not. I just don't really like the Ekka or like the whole fairground carnival based thing.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing.
I
And
mean,
you've
if I was
sort
going
of
to
got
get
to go
something
like
like Spock,
Is fun.
oops, sorry.
you've got to go into like one of those shows with sort of a very like a game plan, I guess, and be conscious that you have to stay hydrated because it's I don't know. There's just something about those shows where it's like even more so than a regular theme park that it's just so crowded. There's not much opportunity to sit down. The food options are very limited. And yeah, people often get dehydrated and get headaches and stuff at those more so than a regular theme park, I find.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that I'm kind of dealing with a migraine at the moment. Yeah, let's not tempt. But I don't know. It's been something that I've been thinking of. I love the fact that they have a Zyklon called Wild Mouse.
Yeah.
I Hey, actually,
Actually,
Jake, you're Mr. Man of uh brain power. I like you're very encyclopedic in your coaster knowledge, and you tend to know all the weird coasters.
what do you want? Why are you
I
trying
only
to?
just
Why are you? Why are you complimenting me like this? What's going on?
no. I'm not wanting anything. I'm just curious if because I recently found out about a coaster, and I'm trying to find its name. But have you heard of this Zyklon in India that is like completely built within a brick like building?
No.
No, because I saw a POV of this thing the other day, and I was like,
Iran,
"Huh?
China, and Russia are the great black spots of my coaster knowledge because there's so little known or said about a
Wait,
lot of
where
what's
did you
there.
say? Russia,
India, Iran,
Russia,
China,
China."
Russia.
Yeah,
Because
that's fair. I
everywhere else other than that, it's quite easy to get information. But those 4 countries, it's just bizarrely hard.
I'm gonna try doing a quick search. I want to try and find it for you. Would have been better if I actually got myself prepared for this, but
Hmm.
yeah,
A
there
cyclone,
is not much said on those worlds.
a cyclone inside a brick building, you say?
Yeah, had a friend send it to me in a POV the other day, and I was like, oh, that is a thing, and I was curious if you'd ever heard of it.
There you go.
I'm going to try and quickly find it. I do apologize.
Well, in the meantime, how's everyone's personal lives going? Let's reveal our deepest, darkest secrets to the entire internet. I once killed a man.
Yeah.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
I found it.
I'm glad I helped you fill in that time.
Yeah, no. It's VR coaster at a Wonderla amusement park, Kochi in India.
Oh, it's at a $1 park. VR coaster, $1.
The demon is at a $1 park.
It is. It is. It's Hyderabad, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yes, that is a
Would I know
Zyklon within a
anything
brick
about
building.
them?
Oh,
It's cool.
The supports are
Yeah.
concrete?
Yeah, I think they're concrete. I think they're actually like a part of the building structure. It's
Okay, there are
It's
some
an
steel
oddity.
supports by the looks of things. Like,
I believe there is some.
yeah, it looks like the lift hill has steel supports at least. But that is definitely a Zyklon, so that's interesting. Do we have a manufacturer?
Yeah.
No, we do not.
No, sadly not. Other than
Very
it was
interesting.
brokered by Hindustan amusement machines, according to RCDB. Yeah, I just thought it was a very strange location, and it's like the building has been like clearly custom built for it. So, or at least it appears to be. So I just thought you'd get a kick out of that. We need more weird coasters. Give us more weird coasters.
I should make the RCDB thing into a series. Just see how many random obscure roller coasters I can get sent to.
I feel like there is something in that. You could go to.
How come everyone that comes up right now is defunct? Okay, there we go.
I've got
Rodelbahn at Rodelbahn Petersburg in Germany. And then I'll go to Spinning Coaster at Cidade de Criança in Brazil, which is a Chinese.
Wait, what have I actually found?
Chinese spinning coaster. Ew. Ew, I don't like that one. I don't want to go to that one. I changed my mind. I don't think it's a good series anymore.
Can I just say, this coaster used to have the greatest name in the entire universe. It used to be called the Clone Zone.
Are you in the clone zone?
They're now called Ziggy's Blast Adventure at the Milky Way Adventure Park in Bideford in England. It is a Carry Pro bat flyer.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Well,
I just like that it used to be called Clone Zone.
Kieran.
Yes.
I believe that next week we should have another guest on. I mean, another,
Sounds
not
like
as
a
in,
plan.
not as in another, as in like different from Heidi. I've just realized that may have come across as like we should have another guest on, as in we should not have Heidi on and we should have someone else. We should have. we haven't had an episode in a while, other than these last two, where Heidi has joined us, which we are very grateful for. Where we've invited somebody on, so I think next week we should aim to do so.
Sounds good.
We will do that. In the meantime, I think we should wrap up.
It will just be me wearing a mustache.
I am Guy Incognito.
I am Gusto.
Chan's Tristralia Poster Canal.
Yep. Well, yeah, that would be quite funny.
Heidi, where can they find you?
Yeah, well, if you do want to actually get in contact with me, you can get in contact with me through my very inactive YouTube channel, which is Trans Australian Coaster Channel. Other than that, yeah, that's where you can find me.
What about you, Kieran?
You can find me on YouTube at ejectorbeartime or on Blue Sky at ejectorbeartime.bsky.social.
And you can find me at Maloney's Coasters on YouTube, or you can check out my off-ride footage channel, Maloney's Coasters Off-Ride Footage. That's going to wrap us up for the 20th episode
Ooh,
of of whatever this what Total Bear Loney. That's it. I forgot. So thank you for listening. If you've listened to all 20 episodes, and we will see you next time.
Hate crime is not our problem.
Our apologies for all of the torture you've been put through over the last.
But at this point, it's self-inflicted.
Yeah, if you haven't stopped already, then that's your own fault.
You control the buttons you press.
Well, thank you so much for listening. And you've been listening to an absolute bunch
of Total Bear Loney.
What a bunch.
What a bunch. What a bunch.